Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Megan. Today we are taste testing brand new items that have just made their way into Aldi this week. And we have an array of flavors and things, breakfast, dinner, treats, drinks. It's gonna be a party. So let's get ready to partay. We're gonna start off with something I'm terrified of, but I thought let's just go right out of the gate, get it done. And it's gonna be some salmon burgers. Were you here when we did the tuna burgers? It was by far the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. But some of you have told me, Megan, you're going to have a better luck, better chance of enjoying these salmon burgers than those tuna burgers. And so I'm believing you. I'm trusting you. And I'm terrified. We have two kinds, spinach and feta. Let me tell you about that one. You get two in a pack, spinach and feta. It comes Alaskan sockeye salmon burgers. There's like some peppers going on in there. There's some spinach. There's some feta. Here's what it looks like pre-cooked. You can see that spinach shining through, having its moment, its day in the sun. And I've cooked her up. I like it a little on the toasty. Okay. There's spinach for sure. There's no question about that. The other one we're going to try is the garden veggie. And that's this little feller. And it's just garden veggie. So there's gardens of veggies in there. And we're going to have a good time with it. Are you ready for the 2-pack? I'm so nervous because that tuna patty was so terrible. Which one do I want to try first? I feel like I want to try the garden veggie one. I'm seeing like carrots, onions, peppers. It was a strong smell, but it wasn't horrific coming from the oven. And even my children said it wasn't horrific, and that's saying something. Okay, so don't think about it. I love salmon. I love salmon. It's just in a burger. You know? It's fishy. It's salmony, but a little bit extra fishy on top of it. And I kind of like the veggies in there. They're a bit al dente. Would I ever want to eat this again? No. One bite was fine. I thought the seasoning there, it's kind of got a little saltiness to it in a good way, not too much. It's fine. Am I excited about it necessarily? Not per se. But I didn't have to spit it out. And I think that's a win. So I personally would never buy this again, but I don't necessarily think it's terrible. I'm going to say because of the fishiness, I got to take a couple points off, and I'm going to be like 3.5 out of 5. It's just not suiting my fancy as well. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to try the spinach and feta. Sometimes spinach cooked up is odd, but at other times it's Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot toot. So I see that feta in there. I don't know if you can see it. You see that little white right there? That's the feta. Oh, I like that one better. Less fishy. Oh, the seasoning in there, yeah. I want to take one more bite because this has the spinach more in it, and I want to see, do I really like that cooked up? Because sometimes spinach cooked up is yucky. I don't know what it is about spinach. It's a very interesting when it's been cooked up. What is that taste? I'm not sure. But I would definitely say the spinach and feta, I like it much more than the garden veggie one. The flavors of the spinach and feta is really nice. I feel like there's some garlic in there. Something about it, it just suits my fancy more, and I'd be more likely to continue eating that. So I'm going to say it's not my favorite thing in the whole wide world, but it's still, I'm going to say 4 out of 5. I did not expect that today, and I feel very proud of us. Thank you. Thank you. Much, much better than the tuna burger. So those were interesting, and I'm glad we got them done up first. Now we can just move on with a little less anxiety, okay? They made me nervous. What about breakfast? Now that we've had dinner and lunch, let's have breakfast. This is the stuffed waffles, chicken, sausage, egg, and reduced fat cheddar in a maple brioche waffle. And let me tell you what, I can smell that maple, and I feel like maple's speaking to me lately. It's just like a comforting smell of childhood. 4 stuffed waffles per box, 15 grams of protein. I feel like breakfast best is usually quite delicious. I know. The other one that we're going to try from the stuffed waffles at breakfast best is the bacon, egg, and reduced fat cheddar in a maple brioche waffle. 4 stuffed waffles, 14 grams of protein per. So I made sure to know which is which. The chicken one had this little thing here, and if I flip it over, you know, they both look kind of dark. So let's start off with the chicken, sausage, egg, and reduced fat cheddar in a maple brioche. Now, you can microwave it, you can air fry it. I always feel like these things need a little more time than the box says. So I doubled the time because it just felt right. Let's see what the inside looks like. You see the cheese and the egg? I can too. George over here. George, can you smell it? He's like, I think you want to give me that. I don't know. Do you like this kind of a thing, buddy? I like everything. I like everything. Here we go. Oh. What an interesting, okay, that's a very sweet, the brioche waffle. It's like a mapley, buttery sweet. With kind of the salty chicken sausage. You know what's interesting is I don't necessarily taste the filling. All right. It's thinking about it. Okay, it's a very filling waffle. It is a sweet waffle. The maple is nice. There is like a saltiness from the chicken sausage, and maybe the cheese is coming through. The egg, I wouldn't know it was there. So it's more like a vibe of stuffed. I can see it with my eyeballs that it's there, but I think the brioche part is overpowering, but yet it's still tasty. It's so interesting. My brain is a little bit like, but the whole chicken and waffles thing, which I've never had, but the idea of it is kind of right there because it's chicken, sausage in a waffle with the maple. What am I going to say about that? I mean, it's kind of fun, kind of cool. 3.85, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Only because it's like, well, I need to have a bit more of the other flavors, right? Now the bacon one is next. Bacon, egg, and reduced fat cheddar. Oh, you can see that bacon. You see that little pink spot right there? Oh, that's bacon. Okay, now the bacon's shining. The sweetness of the waffle is having a moment to it shining. Everything's falling out. The stuffing on the bacon one probably comes out a little bit more. But you still get the sweetness of the waffle. You know what? These are pretty fun. I like what's going on here. It's really, my brain is a little bit just, what? But I would love for the cheese and the egg to have more of a moment. It's just like they're in there and they're along for the ride, and that's fine. Which one do I like better? I like the saltiness of the chicken sausage one, but I like the baconiness of the bacon one. So you're going to have to buy them both. That's pretty much how that's going to go. I mean, yeah, I almost think I like the chicken sausage one better as I'm sitting here thinking about it. But the bacon one, like 3.85. I just think there could be more of the cheese and the egg. That's just me. So would I put it in my cart again? If I wanted a little something like to wake up my mind in the morning because my brain's going salty, sweet, mapley, but savory, I'd buy it. Sometimes you need that in the morning time. You need a little, whoa, okay, there we go. That was fun. Wow, look at the things we've tried today. I'm so proud of us. Okay, do we want to do drinks next, or do we want to do these friends? These friends? I knew it. We have some interesting ones. Let's start here because we're kind of in a sweet vibe, and then we'll move to the more savory. Smartfood has fiber pop. And I said this when we were doing our Aldi What's New video, that I believe the new big thing is going to be fiber. Of course, we've always needed fiber. It's nothing new, but trends catch on. Okay, so it was protein, and I still think that's going to be happening. We're going to see protein things, but now fiber. I'm seeing it everywhere. This has fiber pop, 6 grams of fiber per serving, which is how much of our daily? 22%. Don't eat too much fiber, but surely eat enough. Raspberries are going to be your best friend. Okay, that's just a little word from me to you. But anyway, back to this. 90 calories per cup, no artificial flavors or colors, and an excellent source of fiber. Whole grains, 10 grams of whole grains per serving. This is the toffee. I can't stop burping. I'm sorry. Let me settle down. This is the toffee and sea salt, or the sweet and salty, which is a little bit like kettle corn maybe on this one. Okay. Which one do we want to try first? Probably sweet and salty first, because I bet the toffee one's going to have a little more flavor, and I want to do that 1 second. I'm ready. Are you ready? A pop of deliciously balanced sweet and salty flavors made with prebiotic fiber. Okay. Oh, that smells lovely. Oh, wait a minute. Hold, stop it. What is that smell? For a second, it smelled like kind of peanutty. There's no peanut in here, or peanut oil or anything like that. Okay. That's like close to Christmas tin caramel popcorn, close. Not quite the same. Not quite as like thick and as sweet and caramely, but this isn't supposed to be caramely that I know of. It's just sweet and salty. I have a feeling some of you could feel that that was a little bit burnt tasting, but yet it's very light. Makes my tongue water. It's good, but the aftertaste is a little bit different. It's almost like, is it burnt? But then it's not. Let's see what the toffee one does for us, okay? Toffee and sea salt. It looks very similar. You might get them mixed up if all you're doing is looking at what's in the bag. Okay, this one definitely has that toffee sea salt to it. That's nice. My brain keeps wanting to think it's caramel. It's not. It's different. It's light, and the sea salt that they put on there, I know you're not really seeing much there, but it's kind of like a really light powder is what it feels like a little bit. That one's nice. I'm waiting to see about the aftertaste a little bit. It's a little bit of an aftertaste, but nothing too terrible. I'd probably go for the toffee and sea salt one over this one, but I don't know that you would agree. And so I'm just letting you know. They're fun. You know what? It's not my favorite. I'd really think about that for a second. I think I would only want a few bites and then I feel done. Why is that? What up with you? Yeah, both of them are kind of that way. Like just a few bites and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then I think, I don't really want, it doesn't have that like, ooh, you got to eat it all feel. Is that okay? So that's my rating on that. It doesn't have that, ooh, you got to eat it all feel. Would I buy it again? Probably not. Clancy has vegetable chips in Mediterranean garlic and herbs and the original, which I think they've had these. This has taro, sweet potato, parsnips, and beets. Okay, let's start with that one first. Be stronger than the bag. Oh, I mean, really now. Sweet potato, taro, beets. Oh my goodness, these are like for realsies. And parsnips. Oh, well. Okay. So they're crunchy, but they're in like a dried vegetable-y crunchy way. You know what I mean? Ooh. This is the original. What is that aftertaste? Okay, how about taro? I don't want to keep eating it. There's an aftertaste. It reminds me of rosemary in a not good way. Sometimes they use rosemary as whatever, but that's not in there, but that's what it tastes like. And it's very kind of like flowery, but rosemary. It's not disgusting, but it's not appetizing. I don't want to keep eating it. No, thank you. Okay, Mediterranean garlic and herbs. I'm actually more nervous about this now. I'm scared. Actually, it might smell a little bit better. Okay, sweet potato. Oh. Now, actually, that's a nice little flavor. Okay. It's strong, though. And then we've got parsnip. And maybe even the texture is a little bit better in this. Why am I getting all these tiny ones? Whoa. No, we're not shoving that in. Ooh, I like the beet one. Oh, yeah, that's nice. And I don't think we did the taro yet. Nope. Oh, I like that beet one. They all really do have a bit of a different taste. That's kind of fun. I don't kind of have the strongest, like, garlicky herb flavor. I don't know why. Okay, if I had to pick between the two, 100%, I'd go for the Mediterranean option, the other original. But I can't say that it's my favorite, but it was cool. It was fun to try. No, I think I'm feeling well. Something about that. It's interesting. Let's say that. And if I had a group of people and I was like, let's try this together, it might be sort of fun. But after that moment, I want it to be over. I'm not looking for any more. We get to end on some drinks now. Olipop. I like to wait till Olipop has the singles, where my single ladies at, so that we can give it a try. Classic root beer. The cherry cola. I don't think I've tried these flavors. And vintage cola, which I thought was kind of fun sounding. So do all of these have the same? 3, 4, 5 grams of sugar. They all have 6 grams of fiber. 40 calories. The root beer has 35. And this vintage cola and the cherry cola do have caffeine. 50 milligrams in there. It's the new kind of soda with the classic taste you will love. I better. It's going to give you fiber, prebiotics, non-GMO. They're gluten-free. Store anywhere, chilled to enjoy. These have been chilled. So I want to start off with vintage cola because I'm just interested to know what it tastes like. Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of fun. You know what it reminds me of? Haribo, the soda gummies. That's what that tastes like. I like that one. I do. That was nice. I would drink that. How about cherry cola? What does that remind me of? You know what that reminds me of? The Haribo cherries. What's going on here, folks? They aren't quite as bubbly as a soda, in my opinion, but they do have a bubble to them. That's kind of nice. No bad aftertaste on either one of those. Those are big wins. You know that I always go in knowing these are not going to taste like the regular soda. They're a little bit different, a little bit lighter, but those both have a nice flavor to them. And the root beer. Root berry. So sometimes these are hit or miss. They'll give you some weirdies. I actually think these are pretty good, you guys. They're just chilled to the bone, so they're dripping. Remember, they're not going to be exactly like a soda, you know, in its full sugar form and in its full syrupy form. But for what they are, I think they're pretty good. So if you are looking for an alternative, if you already love Olipop flavors of others, the vintage cola, cherry cola, and the root beer, I think those are winners. I really do. You know what I'm super excited about? I'm super excited about these. Somebody told me the Ryl company might be the real company. I don't know. RYL? Ryl? Let me see if anywhere on here it gives us like any indication of how we're supposed to say this. Well, On the side, it says Ryl crossed out. You can't see it. Come on. It says Ryl. They cross it out and put Ryl, refreshing iced tea. So I think the person that told me that it's Ryl was for real. Thank you. I appreciate that. So this is the Ryl refreshing iced tea, but guess what flavor it's in? Jolly Rancher blue raspberry and Jolly Rancher green apple. These were actually new last week, and there weren't quite enough things to make a full good Aldi taste testing video, so I opted not to. But I saw that they were still here this week, and I was like, okay. So my favorite fake flavor, as we all know, is blue raspberry. So I'm going to save that one for last because I'm hoping they're going to hit a home run and that I'm going to leave this taste test on a high note. If not, then we're all going to cry. This one is the green apple, which I also think will be delicious, I hope. 0 grams of sugar, huge fruit flavor, 0 calories per can, 0 artificial ingredients. Well, let's just do it then, okay? These are big, tall ones. Look at them compared to their little friends. Oh, isn't that a nice sound? Here we go. Okay. There is an iced tea green apple going on right here. Also reminds me, you know those apple suckers you can get with the caramel on the outside and they stick to the teeth and they're really kind of flat? I'm also being reminded of that. What an interesting experience that is. It's fun. Zingy. I like it. It definitely has green apple tea flavor. Blue raspberry. Are we going to end on a good note? I can feel it. Okay, here we go, baby. Okay. There is a blue raspberry flavor, but it is very mild. Okay. Okay. Oh no. I don't feel like super, super, super sad, but I feel like the green apple really won out over the blue raspberry. But I can still tell there's a little blue raspberry in there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the green apple won. You're the winner. You were the underdog and you really came out on top. I'm very proud of you. The blue raspberry, you're all right, but you got a little bit of work to do to make yourself better. So, my people, I'm going to have them try this and see what they think. What an adventure today was. The stuffed waffles, you might want to try them. You might want to try the spinach and feta Alaska sockeye salmon burger. You might want to try the green apple Jolly Rancher Ryl Tea Company iced tea, the Ollipops in vintage cola, cherry cola, and root beer. You might want to. I don't know. I wouldn't. Nah. Your taste buds need something else. They really do. Like, I don't know, like chocolate or something that we just know is going to make us happy. A stick of cheese, something along those lines. But wow, what an adventure. What an adventure. And we survived. Woohoo, way to go us. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, friends. If you love knowing what's new at Sam's Club, Costco, and Aldi, plus you love product reviews, then I would love for you to subscribe and come be a part of the channel. If you haven't already, be sure to check out what's new at Aldi. You can see all of this, plus so much more, including some back to school items. And you can check out the product review we did for Sam's Club. See that for this week. You guys have an amazing day, and I will talk with you really soon. Toodaloo.